welcome to the spring semester, Mat Pilates. I'm Coach Nash. Finally a face to a name, right? Welcome to one of my rooms in my home. This is where I will be recording our classes for the semester. So hopefully you have found a place in your home to practice your Pilates classes, and making sure that you have a place that you can call your studio, or a space in a room where you don't have any distractions. So I think it's just really important that you take the time and the space in your week to be able to do these workouts without any distractions. So hopefully you have a mat. If you don't, and you're going to be practicing your Pilates classes maybe on carpet or a rug, that's totally fine. You're going to figure it out. Like, as you go, you're going to decide whether or not you really do need to get a mat. I recommend it highly to purchase a mat or use a mat. Obviously, I'm on a wood floor, so I need a mat. We will be doing exercises where we are rolling a little bit on our spine, and so if there's some discomfort there, obviously you're going to want to reconsider if you haven't bought a mat to buy a mat. Okay? As far as a mat goes, a yoga sticky mat is fine. I have an actual Pilates mat. It's just a little denser, a little thicker, so if you want to, there's plenty of places you can purchase a mat, and they are as thin as they can be and they are as thick as they can be. So it's just whatever your liking is, okay? All right, so today, without teaching you anything about Mat Pilates, because we're getting right into this semester with a self-assessment, we're gonna go right into the assessment. And so you have this video to go along with me, and then you have a form that you will be filling out your results according to the exercises that you're doing with me. So what you'll want to try and do is record your results. So write them down, log them in your phone, whatever you need to do so that you can transfer that information onto the form, and then that's what will be submitted back to me for your participation points for your assessment, okay? So just make sure you have something next to you so that you can write down what your results. I'm going to go through all of the exercises with you today. And of course, this is our only workout this week, because this is a short week with a holiday. And so this is the 16-week semester class, so we only have one class this week, and that's this one, okay? So if you don't have the form in front of you, I'm just going to announce what the name of the exercises is so you can write it down or put it in your phone, and then I'll go ahead and demonstrate it and do it with you, and then you'll be able to put your results in, okay? So on the form, there are 3 columns, and so we do this 3 times, but at different parts of the semester. So today is first week of the semester. The second time we do it, the second column will be the mid-semester at mid-6th by 8th week, and then the third column is for the end of the semester. So today we're only doing everything one time. I know that confuses some people, like, are we doing this 3 times? No, we're just doing it once. So we're answering all the results in the first column, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started with just a brief warm-up before we start the actual assessment, okay? So right now, all I want you to do is, on your knees, we're gonna go ahead and bring our arms out to our sides of our chest here, and I'm going to kneel tall with my spine, and from here I'm going to round my back by tilting my hips forward, pulling my abdominals in, trying to push my middle of my back behind me, and then I'm going to round my shoulders in front by extending those arms out in a big rounded hug position, okay? So it looks like this, tall and rounded. And breathing consistently. Just try to take nice deep breaths, pull them inward as deep as you can, and then really push that breath out each time you move. So we're just limbering up our spine and our lower back, our lumbar area, and our hips, and our shoulders and our chest before we do any exercises. Good. Okay, so we're going to come down into a table position here. So hands are down directly underneath our shoulders. And we're going to go into a cat and a cow position. So again, just trying to limber up our spine. I'm going to, again, tuck my hips forward and round my back. Push my middle of my back up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to drop my head. And this is my cat position. Then I'm going to go into my cow, and I'm opposite. So I'm dropping my abdominal region, okay, my wall here, down. I am pushing my hips upward, and my head comes up. And then I'm going to switch the position, cat and cow. So we're just warming up, nice and slow movement, still breathing. Good. All right, one more warm-up exercise. Go ahead and bring your hands forward slightly. Now I'm going to bring my hips down so my back is flat. Now from here, I'm going to transfer my weight back. So I'm going to pull my hips down behind me, bring my head down, my arms are straight, and then I'm going to push my hips forward again. Flat back, head up, come back. So I call this my dynamic movement. So now my hips are a little bit more involved. Again, breathing. One more. Good. Okay, so go ahead and come to a seated position. All right, so from here, we're going to go ahead and start our exercises, so our assessment, which is pretty much our testing, right? And our first exercise that we're going to test is our breath duration. So breath duration is simply just breathing one time, so we're inhaling as deep as we can, and then we're going to push that breath out and exhale. So what you need right now is a way to time your breath. So a clock on the wall, your clock on your phone is fine. You can count in your head or out loud if you want. Somebody else could count out loud for you, right? It's up to you. So you need to keep track of how many seconds that you breathe one time. So let me explain this. I'm going to draw my breath in. So I'm going to pull this inhalation in, right? I'm going to start breathing. I'm going to slow it down as much as possible. So I'm going to breathe as slowly as I can. So I'm really going to try and pace myself. So I'm going to either through your nose or your mouth, it's up to you. I'm going to draw my breath in, and that's when I'm going to start counting, okay? So I pull my breath in as deep and as far as I can go, and then I'm going to slowly transition into an exhale. So I don't want to do this quickly. I want to slowly push my breath out, my exhalation, right? My exhale, out as far as I can take it until my body tells me, my mind tells me I need to breathe again in. That's the only thing we're doing, just one breath, okay? So I'm going to inhale, start to count, slowly transition into an exhale. Blow it all the way out. And at the end of that exhale, I'm going to stop counting, okay? And that is it. Then you're going to just write down your result, 35 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is, okay? So from start to finish, starting on the inhale, finish on the last breath, that exhale, okay? So go ahead and practice your breath, and then you'll write down your result. So go ahead, and I'll wait for you. Okay, so hopefully you're finished. If you haven't, keep going. Don't let me disturb you. But if you're done, we're going to go ahead and move on. So when you've finished, you're going to start with me. So you can pause the video if you need to at any point during this video. I might even explain. Go ahead and pause the video and then come back and press play and you'll move on, okay? So that's pretty much what we're doing, okay? So I'm going to talk, demonstrate, and then you're going to do and then write down your result, okay? So our next exercise is called the 100. The 100 exercise, we will do this daily. So because we practice 2 times a week, we will do this 2 times a week. So it is a warm-up exercise, and how we warm up is we synchronize our breathing with our engagement of our muscles in our abdomen, our abdominal region here. And we're going to actually move during this breathing process, okay? So we're going to synchronize, we're going to count, we're going to move, we're going to engage. There's a lot going on in this exercise, and so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate and talk it through with you, and then we'll go ahead and do it together, okay? So the 100, we will not practice this in the beginning of the semester, or even the first half of the semester, the way that we will test today. So I'm going to test in a level 2 position for the 100, but when I meet with you next week, we will not be in this position, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and come on down. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to be lifting my head up off the mat, and when I do that, I want to go ahead and the first thing is tuck my chin down to my chest. From here, I'm going to lift or elevate my shoulders up off the mat, and when I do that, I'm going to press my abdomen down into the mat, okay? So I'm connecting my back, my lower back, to the mat. I'm pressing by pulling my abdominals in and down. My shoulders are rounded forward. My chin is down to my chest. I'm looking down at my belly button, okay? And then from here, I'm going to elevate my legs out. So this position is what we will, how we will assess for the 100, okay? So when our legs are extended, we want to make sure we hold them in that same starting position throughout the entire exercise. The arms, what's going to happen with the arms is they are going to pump. And the pumping looks like this. So my arms are straight, my elbows are locked out, my palms are facing down, and I'm pumping, I'm just elevating, lifting, and lowering up and down, just about 6 to 8 inches, right, at my sides. And I'm pumping my arms while I'm counting and breathing. So this is what this means. When I'm inhaling, I'm going to inhale for a 5 count of my pumping arms. So I'm going to inhale for 5. This is how it looks. I'm going to exhale for 5. So that's 10 pumps, 1 breath, and we're doing 100, or we're going to at least try to do 100, okay? So that's 10 total breaths that we're going to try and attempt, and 100 total pumps. Make sense? Okay, so let me demonstrate this again. This is what it's going to look like. You don't need to practice this, just watch me. I'm going to extend my legs. I'm going to lift, chin to chest, shoulders up, engaging, pumping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the exhale. That's 1. And I start again, and I continuously pump and breathe, but I'm also going to keep count because I don't want to go past 100 or 10 total breaths, and I want to know when I stop short of 100. So if I start pulling my head back or my legs start to come down, I'm going to stop, and I need to know when I stopped, okay? All right, so what I like to do is I like to keep count on my hand. So when I get 1 full breath, which is 10 total pumps of my arms, I just drop my thumb, and then the next 10 I drop my index finger, and then I drop my middle finger. And so I know that when I stop, I can look at my hands and go, okay, I completed 70 out of 100. Make sense? Okay, so we're going to start together. Are you ready? So we're going to go ahead and elevate the head, chin to chest, shoulders, engage, connect, legs out, and begin. Good. So I just did 100 pumps. I just did 10 total breaths, and I'm going to go ahead and write that down on my paper. Okay? So you write down your results, whatever it was. We're going to write down the amount out of the 100. So 8 total breaths would have been 80, right? 7, 70, 9, 90, and so on. Okay, good. All right, so so far so good, right? You're going to notice neck fatigue. So anytime we're holding our head up and I'm asking you to bring your chin down to your chest, especially for that length of time with the head elevated, you're going to notice some neck fatigue, and that's totally normal. And that's why I'm only doing 1 session this week, because I think some of you, if it's been a while since you've done any kind of physical activity, or you've never, ever accomplished anything like this before, and you're really pushing yourself, you might be a little bit sore, okay? Okay, so the next one is called the Fab Five. So that's what you'll write down if you don't have your form in front of you. So the Fab Five, this is going to be really challenging for a lot of you. So this is 5 exercises, and we're going to practice 5 repetitions of all 5 exercises. Now, you haven't learned anything yet, so there's obviously a learning curve here. We will absolutely go over these exercises for a very long period of time in this semester, but today we're just going to get right to it. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate each exercise. You're going to go ahead and practice just a little bit of each exercise, and then we're going to do this together, the 5 repetitions of the 5 exercises, okay? Okay, so the first exercise is called a single leg stretch. And so, again, when we're on our backs, we're trying to connect that lower back to the mat. So we're trying to pull the abdominals in, engaging those abdominals and pressing them down into the back and holding them there while we do the work, okay? While we're doing that, we're breathing, not forgetting to breathe. We don't ever hold our breath in this class, so we're breathing through the exercise. The head is always up off the mat. The chin is always down to the chest. Shoulder blades are always lifted up off of the mat. And that is a standard position, okay? That's a very basic elementary position. So let me demonstrate. Single leg stretch. So we're going to be on our backs. Head is elevated, chin to chest, back is connected. I'm going to pull my knees in, and this is my starting position. Go ahead and get into this position here. Now from here, with my abdominals engaged, with my breathing, I'm just simply going to let one leg go straight out, and then I'm going to pull this knee in slightly. That's it. And then I'm going to exchange. See that? So I'm just gently pulling and gently extending the leg. This is single leg stretch. So my trunk stays still and my legs do the work. And I'm breathing. So just practice a few of those and then relax. Nice. So that's single leg stretch. One leg is moving in and one leg is moving out. Single leg. The second exercise is double leg. So I'm going to start in the same position as single leg, head up, chin to chest, both knees in. Hands are over the knees. From here, I'm going to extend both legs out and reach back and sweep my arms around and pull my knees in. So my low back stays connected. I'm breathing, slowly extending and slowly pulling in. This is double leg stretch. Try a couple and then rest. So single leg, double leg. The third exercise is the most different from all of them. It's called crisscross, okay? So I'm gonna start with my knees in, my head up. I'm gonna bring my hands behind my neck. The legs do the same work as the single leg. See this? But now I'm going to come across, meeting my elbow to my bent knee. See that? And then my right to my left. Come across the rib cage, that's it. I'm just rotating across, keeping my hips on the mat. And of course, breathing. And rest. So that's crisscross. That's the third exercise. So first exercise is single leg, then we have double leg, and then we have crisscross. Okay? The fourth exercise is called single straight leg. So it's just like single leg, but our legs are straight. So go ahead and bring both legs up, head and shoulders up. And so now I'm going to pull on one leg and drop the other leg. And extend the other leg. Okay, so these are single straights. Slow and control. Good. And rest. And then the fifth and final exercise is double straight. So double straight just meaning both legs lower and both legs lift. Okay? So go ahead and bring both legs up, head and shoulders up, bring your hands behind your neck, and you're going to lower both legs and lift both legs. Nice and slow. And breathing, right? And rest. Good. So those are five exercises. Okay, so we are going to practice all 5 exercises in a row, 5 repetitions, okay? And we're going to write down our results. So not all of you will be able to get through all 5 with 5 repetitions. So you have to just make sure that you write down where you have finished, okay, or what you've completed. So if I do 5 repetitions of single leg, 5 of double leg, 5 of crisscross, but I don't get through 5 of my single straight, I've accomplished 3 out of the 5, okay? So I accomplished 5 repetitions of 3 exercises out of the 5, so I'll write down 3. If I get through single straight, but I don't get through double straight, I'm going to put 4. If I get through all 5, I'm going to put 5. That's it, okay? So we're going to go through this together. If you stop short of the 5, just write down what you accomplished, okay? All right, here we go. So, in a row. No pausing, no stopping, no resting in between. We're going to go for it, okay? All right, come on down. Bring your knees in. And we're going to start with single leg stretch. 5 of these, okay? So, one leg, right leg pull, one leg, left leg pull equals 1. So we have to actually do 10 movements for it to equal 5, if that makes sense. All right, here we go. Ready? Right leg pull, left leg pull. That's 1. That's 2. 3. This is 4. And 5. Then we're going to go into double leg. Both knees in, hands over the top. Reach back and around. That's 1. 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go after here 5. We're going into crisscross. 1 on each side is 1, 2, 3. Keep breathing. 4, 5. Single straight, both legs all the way up, hands behind the back of the legs. 1 on each side is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Double straight, both legs up, hands behind the neck. Here we go. Drop for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And rest. Nice. All right, so write down your result for your Fab 5, whatever that number is, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1, okay? All right. That was tough, huh? Okay, so our next exercise that we're testing is called the roll-up, R-O-L-L, up, roll-up. So we're going to just see if we can do 1 roll-up the first time, okay? A lot of you will not be able to do even 1 roll-up, and it's totally understandable. You haven't practiced, you're not going to be using the cues that I'll be teaching you starting next week. And it's obviously just the knowledge and knowing how to try and roll up, and as well as the muscle memory, and the strength, right? So the roll up, so this is a very challenging exercise, and hopefully you'll be motivated to become better at this. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate what this looks like, talk you through it, and then you're gonna try it 1 time, okay? So when we roll up in the beginning of the semester, we will not be practicing it the way we're testing today. So just like with the 100, it's a little different today than it will be next week. So the roll up, my legs are straight today. My arms are behind my head, extended. And what's going to happen is I'm going to sweep my arms first, up and over, reaching forward. When I see my arms in front of me, I'm going to lift my head, bring my chin to my chest, lift my shoulders, and at that point, I'm engaging my abdominals, trying to connect my back to the mat, and then I'm going to pull myself up, keeping my legs connected to the mat. If I can get here, I'm going to keep my back rounded. We'll talk about that next week. It's called scooping. And I'm going to return down to the mat the way I went up, opposite. Okay? So that's a roll up. So you're going to do this one time and see where you complete. So if you get stuck and you can't lift up, you're just going to write down what you were able to elevate. So my shoulder blades off of the back here, okay? And that's what I'll write down. So here we go. Are you ready? Sweep the arms, lift the head, shoulders, press, pull up if you can, and then come down if you can. If you don't get all the way up, I want you to write down where you're able to get up. So if you're here and it's just shoulder blades, or here, your upper back is off the mat, that's what you're going to write down for your roll up. Okay? So write down your result just one time. So if you completed a full roll up, just put one roll up. If not, write a little description of what you were able to accomplish. Okay? All right, push up, leg pull down. So we're going to test our upper body strength. So come on to your knees with me here. So a push-up, leg pull down. You're going to decide whether or not you're going to do a traditional push-up or a modified push-up. So you will circle modified or circle traditional. So if you know that you can't do a push-up without your knees off on the mat, then you're going to circle modified. So you'll write down modified. If you know you can do a push-up with your knees off the mat, then you'll circle traditional, or you'll write down traditional that you did that today, okay? So watch me. So this is modified. Push-up, leg pull down. So my hands are leading my shoulders slightly, and they're about shoulder distance apart. My knees are connected, my hips are down, so my back is flat. So when I do a push-up, I bend my elbows and my entire trunk comes down and up. So see, the whole trunk comes down and up. This is not a push-up, okay? The whole trunk comes. Now after my push-up, I'm going to come up into a plank position. I'm going to lift one leg, and I'm going to transfer my weight back on my heel with my leg back. See that? Then I'm going to come back into plank, lift my other leg, transfer back, come back into plank, drop my knees, and start again. Push up, plank, pull down, knees down. Okay? So if you're doing modified, that's the exercise you're going to practice, and you're going to keep count of how many you can do without stopping, okay? Traditional, your knees are simply off the mat. So I'm going to do a push-up, pull down, that's one, push-up, pull down, that's two, and I'm going to go until I stop, okay? So go ahead and pause the video, do your push-up leg pull down, keep count, write your result, or plug it into your phone, and then press play. Come on back and we'll go to the next one. Right, so you did your push-up leg pull down. I hope you feel accomplished. And we're gonna move on to the next exercise, and that is our spine stretch. So, sitting on our mat or on our carpet, wherever you are, we're gonna open our legs into a V position. And if you have a mat, I'd like to have your feet outside the width of your mat, okay? We're gonna practice this exercise just to warm up before we test, okay? Sitting up tall from our hips up, so our trunk is tall. I'm going to reach my arms up, and from here I'm going to pivot forward with my trunk reaching forward. So it looks like this, keeping my back flat. See that? From here, I'm going to round my back and pull my arms in. So my spine has changed, right? The position. In, shoulders are hunched. And then my hands come up the midline of my body, and my back is tall again, okay? So we're hinging forward, or pitching forward, flat back, rounding the back, flattening the back, and constant movement. We're not stopping and stretching. Breathing. You should feel this stretch through your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back. Okay? All right, so that's what it's meant for. The test, we are seeing how far we can reach out, okay? How limber we are, flexible we are in our lumbar area, our glutes, and our hamstrings, okay? So when I reach forward, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to lower my arms to the mat, and then that's when I'm going to write down my result there. So watch me. I'm going to reach forward as far as I can, drop my hands, and from here, I'm going to, my measuring tool is my hands. So I'm going to say that my wrists come all the way to my heels. So I'm going to put wrists at heels as my answer, okay, my result. Some of you, it might be fingertips at heels. Some of you, it might be, you get as far as here, right? It's as far as you go, and then you drop your hands, and then maybe your, you know, maybe your wrists are at mid-shin, okay? It might be according to your heels, your ankles, your shin, your knees, whatever it is, okay? So go ahead and write down your result for your spine stretch. Spine stretch, and then write down a little description of where you reach. Okay. When you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and turn over to our tummies. This is Superman pulls. So write down Superman pulls, or put it in your phone as Superman pulls. We're actually going to test the strength in our back, okay? And so let me demonstrate that. So go ahead and turn over. We're going to go ahead and bring our arms out in front of our head, leading our head here. My arms are going to stay slightly bent. And what's going to happen is my head stays off the mat, but I'm looking down at the mat. I'm going to lift my arms and my legs up off the mat at the same time. This is the Superman. And then I'm going to pull my elbows back at my sides. That's the pull. And then I'm going to reach back to start. And then I'm going to lower my arms and legs. Okay, that's one. I'm breathing continuously through the exercises, and I'm going to do as many Superman pulls as I can. Watch me. That's one. 2, 3, and I'm going to go as long as I can, or what I feel good about, right? Accomplished. I'm going to write that number down, and then that's my result. So go ahead and pause the video, do your Superman polls, write down your result or plug it into your phone, and then press play and come on back. Finished Superman polls, and so now the next part of the assessment is your personal goals. So what you're going to do is just write down a few goals that you have for the semester. Maybe it has to do with the assessment, improving upon that. It might have to do with something completely different, why you're taking the class, right? It might, I just want you to actually be very detailed and very specific about what you want. So don't just say, I want to improve strength in my upper body. Be specific about it. So how can you show that or demonstrate that, right? That improvement. So maybe I want to be able to do 1 push-up leg pull down traditional. Or I want to improve upon my upper body strength by, increasing my push-up leg pull down by 5, whatever it is. Make sure that you keep time as far as time is considered for the semester. What I mean by that is maybe you say in your goals by mid-semester, by the second time we test, these are the things I would like to see improvements upon, okay? It could have to do with your breathing. Maybe that's important to you. So be very specific. Maybe it has to do with your breath test, or maybe it has to do with knowledge, right? Maybe it has to do with completing the whole semester, not missing any classes, whatever it is. Keep a time coordinated with it, meaning by maybe mid-semester, by end of semester, in 16 weeks, I would like to see this, right? Whatever it is. Be realistic. We only meet 2 times a week, so be realistic and thoughtful about what you write down, considering the fact that maybe this is the only class you're taking, and it's really just up to you. So go ahead and take some time, be thoughtful about it, write some assessment or some personal goals down, and then that's it, you guys. So make sure that you put your results into your form after you've downloaded the form, right? Put your results in, save the form, and then submit it back to me. If you have difficulty with that, just reach out to me, and that is that for the assessment. You're being graded on the form, not the video, so make sure you get that form into me by Sunday evening by 11:55 p.m. and you'll receive your credit, and I'll see you next week.